Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel where biblical backgrounds matter. We'll go through the next 3 plagues tonight in Exodus. Starting out in chapter 8 and verse 20, we have the 4th plague. And the Lord said to Moses, Rise early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh as he comes out to the water. Then say to him, Thus says the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Or else, if you will not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies on you and your servants, on your people, and into your houses. The houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground on which they stand. And in that day I will set apart the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, in order that you may know that I am the Lord in the midst of the land. This goes all the way back to Genesis. Remember back in the book of Genesis that when Israel finally realized that Joseph was still alive, he had his sons take him down to Egypt. And with Joseph being second in command to the Pharaoh at that time, the nation of Israel was allowed the second best place in the land, which was Goshen, which was just outside of main area Egypt. Verse 23, I will make a difference between my people and your people. Tomorrow this sign shall be. And the Lord did so. Thick swarms of flies came into the house of Pharaoh, into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted because of the swarms of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, Go sacrifice to your God in the land. So we have the plague of flies. The god was worshipped under the image of the fly. His name signifies the Lord of the restless ones, or the restless one. He is correctly identified with Satan in the New Testament. You'll want to look up Matthew 12:24, also Job 1:7, and 1 Peter 5:8. Verse 25, Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, Go sacrifice to your God in the land. And Moses said, It is not right to do so, for we would be sacrificing the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God. If we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes, then will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God as he will command us. So Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that you may sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only you shall not go very far away. Intercede for me. Pharaoh was once again begging for intercession and mercy. He was once again doing damage control. Verse 29 through 32. Then Moses said, Indeed, I am going out from you, and I will entreat the Lord, that the swarms of flies may depart tomorrow from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. But let Pharaoh not deal deceitfully any more in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. So Moses went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord, and the Lord did according to the word of Moses. He removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants and from his people, not one remained. But Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also. Neither would he let the people go. Pharaoh became more prideful, more stubborn, more stiff-necked. Then we had the fifth plague, which is the cattle murrain, in chapter 9, verses 1 through 7. A loathsome disease that kills the cattle of the field, and even those animals worshipped as living symbols of these gods. You'll want to look up Joshua 24:14, Exodus 32, and Ezekiel chapter 20, verses 5 through 10. Exodus chapter 9, verses 1 through 7. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go in to Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let them go and still hold them, behold, the hand of the Lord will be on your cattle in the field, on the horses, on the donkeys, on the camels, on the oxen, and on the sheep, a very severe pestilence. And the Lord will make a difference between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt. So nothing shall die of all that belongs to the children of Israel." Then the Lord appointed a set time, saying, "Tomorrow the Lord will do this thing in the land." So the Lord did this thing on the next day, and all the livestock of Egypt died. But of the livestock of the children of Israel not one died. Then Pharaoh sent, and indeed not even one of the livestock of the Israelites was dead. But the heart of Pharaoh became hard, and he did not let the people go. Pharaoh once again hardened his heart. Ezekiel speaks of God removing a heart of stone and giving the believer a heart of flesh, thus making a new creature, a new child of God. Why? Because the old person, the old creature, would never hear the message of the Lord. Then we have verses 8 through 12. So the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take for yourselves handfuls of ashes from a furnace, and let Moses scatter it towards the heavens in the sight of Pharaoh, and it will become fine dust in all the land of Egypt, and it will cause boils that break in sores on man and beast throughout all the land of Egypt." They took ashes from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses scattered them toward heaven, and they caused boils that break out in sores on man and beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boils were on the magicians and on all the Egyptians, but the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not heed them, just as the Lord had spoken to Moses. God spoke all this to Moses. He forewarned him and promised him that he would harden the heart of Pharaoh, until Pharaoh finally reached his breaking point. Now, what was this sixth plague? Boils and blisters. Obviously, this was a plague on the feet of the Egyptians. This was the priesthood of the gods of Egypt that were being plagued this time. Sprinkling of ashes was employed by the priests of pagan Egypt, as with pagan Roman Catholicism. As a sign of blessing, God turned their blessing into a curse of boils, which not even the magicians of the Egyptian cults could avoid. All the magicians of Egypt tried their best to work their magic spells and reverse the curses of God. But God is all powerful. He is almighty. He decides when the curse begins and when it ends. And thus, he brought the curse on Egypt, and he removed it at his set time. And that's about all we've got for the next 3 plagues of Egypt. As always, leave all comments and questions down in the comments section. And if this video has been any help to you at all, then hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and remember, biblical backgrounds matter.